quarter is put the ball in Jordan's hand because he usually makes something good happen. You know, many times they say that when Michael Jordan's tongue is out, something bad's going to happen for the opposition. Takes a page out of Magic's book with the hook pass over the top.
A spectacular first quarter for Michael Jordan. 7 for 10 for 15 points, plus 5 assists. And as we mentioned earlier, throughout most of the playoffs, Michael has started slowly, kind of checking things out, getting his teammates involved, and then has poured it on, come on strong in the second half. Not the case here today.
Well, maybe he's thinking some of my teammates might be a little bit nervous. You know, big game situation, championship series. Let me give him some confidence, get him off to a quick start by doing it myself.
Cliff Livingston has checked in for the first time. Here's Jordan. And Magic Johnson gets to it. Terry Teagle on the floor for the Lakers for the first time. So Divac with Green and Worthy up front. Worthy returning. Teagle and Johnson at the guards. They try to double up on Teagle. Bullet pass for Beauty. And the foul call. Magic Johnson spotting the open man, Bloody Divac. Cartwright called for the foul, his second.
One of the things you'll notice during this series is the great hands of Divac, the ability to catch the hard passes that Magic Johnson throws at the spur of the moment when a lot of players aren't expecting him. They have turnovers as a result. Divac comes up with the ball. Sounds simple, but so important.
Crowd reacting to the entrance of Will Perdue, who has become a crowd favorite here in Chicago. He replaces Bill Cartwright. 4 points, 2 personal fouls for Cartwright. Earlier this season, Perdue had complained about lack of playing time. Then he moved up in Phil Jackson's rotation, began to play well, and came up solid during the playoffs.
We see a little change in the philosophy now defensively by the Lakers with Teagle on the floor instead of Scott. James Worthy has moved over now to guard Michael Jordan.
Bulls 14 for 22 from the field in the first quarter. They made 12 of the last 15 after the slow start. Divac's able to take the dribble from Jordan.
And Michael Jordan knew he had a mismatch situation, tried to take Divac off the dribble, but the Lakers recognized and surrounded the ball immediately.
Lakers 50%, 11 for 22 shooting in the first quarter. Now Worthy backing Grant. Shot clock is at 5. He ran out of options and goes to the finger roll. What a move by James Worthy.
The best option, perhaps. Put it in the basket.
Lakers lead at 33-30. We're just underway in the second quarter. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones from Chicago Stadium. Perdue from Jordan.
You could see Magic that time give his teammates the verbal signal to come and double team when he wanted to help, but Jordan's so unselfish he finds the open man.
So the Lakers by 1. Here's Teagle getting inside. Terry Teagle had a disappointing regular season, but he's come on in the playoffs. Came on strong toward the end of the season after he was signed as a free agent after spending time with Houston, Detroit, Golden State. There's a three-point attempt by Hodges. Green on the rebound.
The Lakers are so tough because they will post any one of 5 people. Worthy with the post-up move and score right there. 4 of the 5 starters will post up. Only Scott not being a post-up guy, and then Teagle off the bench is another post-up man. Most teams are happy to have just 1 or 2 post-up guys.
12 points for Worthy. Lakers extend to a 5-point lead. The pass broken up. And back comes Magic. 8-2 run by the Los Angeles Lakers. Worthy with the opening. And the loose ball foul called. It's on Divac. 9:15 remaining in the second quarter. Lakers lead 37-32. A timeout call.
As long as Michael Jordan is away from the basket, Magic Johnson will play him straight up. Jordan will then try to back down the player into the scoring area, and at a certain point, you'll see Magic turn his head, ask for help from his teammates, but keep an eye underneath Will Perdue because Jordan finds his open teammates.
Yes, he is the czar of the telestrator. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Mark, that last time out, Phil Jackson was saying that they're trying to go to their offensive menu. A lot of isolations, a lot of screen roll. What he was upset was there's too much congestion underneath the basket. The big men not doing enough spacing. Let's go over to Steve.
All right, Ahmad, the Los Angeles Lakers feel confident that they can score at any offensive possession. Their big concern is defensive rotation off of Michaeljordan. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Steve, and Craig Hodges able to hit his first field goal with 3 minutes gone by. In the second quarter, the Lakers lead the Bulls 37-34. Check of the stats, 6 assists apiece for Jordan and Johnson. Teagle had it knocked away. Shot clock is at 14. Scottie Pippen checking back in. He'll replace Horace Grant. Leads with a field goal for 2. Phil Jackson was telling us at practice yesterday that the Lakers will try to lull you to sleep. Then they'll pick you apart. They have a way of frustrating the defense. They take so much time off the 24-second clock, and we've certainly seen that here in the first quarter. Worthy with another gorgeous move. Worthy with 14. And remember, there were questions about Worthy because of that sprained ankle. Lakers by 5. Deflected out. It will be Chicago ball.
Worthy has the ability to back you down to the last possible second on the 24-second clock, and then finds a way to get a good shot off.
And the Bulls shot clock is at 10. Devon's able to jump out effectively. Here's Pippen. And Teagle on the rebound. A.C. Green up front with Lonnie Devonts, James Worthy, Magic Johnson, and Terry Teagle now at the guard. Matchup is now Livingston against Worthy, who's backing him down, and then not able to hit the jump. Here comes Jordan. Michael goes all the way, and then a late decision, and he's called for the travel. He tried to hand it off. He was undecided. And a rare traveling violation indicator.
Jack Madden saying that Michael's feet touched the ground before he actually got rid of the basketball. He's airborne, and the foot, he says, comes down before the pass is delivered. From another angle, check it out and see if the feet touch before the ball is delivered. Looks like a good call.
And Michaeljordan will sit down. B.J. Armstrong has come on for the first time. 15 points, 7 assists for Jordan. Good play by Livingston.
First thing Livingston did was he got Worthy off the block. Next thing, he denied him the ball, got the deflection out of bounds.
Cliff Livingston did not get the playing time during the regular season and had a disappointing regular season after coming over from the Atlanta Hawks, but he stepped it up, in particular in the series against Detroit. Purdue got a piece of that shot attempt, and the foul is called.
And speaking with Livingston, he felt early in the season he was so concerned about not messing up the Bulls team when he was out on the floor. A rather intricate half-court offensive system, one that he was, well, if he goes back, he was so embedded into the Hawks system for such a long number of years that he moves over into Chicago's new system, and he said, I'm just afraid of messing up when I got on the floor and really didn't just go out and play.
Was that complicated Hawk system under Coach Fratello you're referring to?
The 3 plays that we had.
Yes. Will Purdue called for the foul. A.C. Green on the line. Livingston emerged in the series against Detroit. He actually came to Chicago Stadium very upset prior to one of the big games he had against the Pistons after he read a newspaper column in which he and another newcomer, Dennis Hobson, were referred to as clutter in terms of what they have contributed off the bench. And he said that gave him the extra incentive to prove his critics wrong. Here's Hodges.
Yes.
And the Lakers lead 41-36. Well, maybe Phil Jackson will be ghostwriting some tough stories on Cliff Livingston, try and get him going. 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Now Purdue guarding Perkins. Off the steal, Livingston for Purdue, and he will go to the line.
Almost a bad decision that turns into a good play for Chicago. Livingston gave it up to a big man too far from the basket, but they'll wind up shooting 2 free throws.
Larry Drew just committed that foul. Welcome back to Chicago. The Lakers lead the Bulls by 5 points, 6:49 remaining in this first half. And we have an NBA Finals flashback involving a couple of Lakers. 6 years to the day, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar passed Jerry West as the all-time leading scorer in playoff history. Not only did Kareem pass West in this series, he won the Most Valuable Player award of the Finals as he led the Lakers past Boston in 6 games. Magic Johnson looking to put a move on Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Larry Bird. Magic sitting out. Larry Drew has come on for the first time, so Mike Dunleavy going with a combination of Teagle and Drew in the backcourt. Perkins with Green and Worthy up front. Will Perdue to the free throw line in his 3rd year out of Vanderbilt. And that is his 3rd point of the day.
As has been the case for the Bulls, whenever Phil Jackson puts 4 of the bench players on the court, Armstrong, Hodges, Livingston, Perdue, either Jordan or Pippen remain out there to be the glue for that unit.
Pressure by the Bulls, providing some problems for the Lakers. Phil Jackson will go with the light pressure, and he'll use it as a surprise element. Drew shooting the 3, Perdue on the rebound.
And that full court pressure wound up in a rush shot for the Lakers that time.
However, the Bulls give it right back. Larry Drew moving it against B.J. Armstrong. Here's Teagle, called for the travel.
Teagle had 2 good looks at the basket that time, wound up trying to get a better shot, and as a result, turned it over.
High-point man of the game, Michaeljordan, 15 points. Along with his 7 assists, he's accounted for 29 of the 36 Bulls points prior to sitting down. Perdue. Will Perdue going glass for his 2nd field goal, and the Bulls move within 1. The leading scorers for the Lakers, Worthy 14, Perkins with 12. Now Pippen taking Teagle down low. Yes, and it counts.
Chicago wound up playing pick-and-roll basketball with Scottie Pippen coming off a screen set by Craig Hazard. Lakers switch, but as a result, Pippen had a smaller man, takes advantage of it, and backs him right into the hole.
Mike Dunleavy making changes. Magic Johnson returns, as does Byron Scott and Vlade Divac. The Bulls have reeled off 8 consecutive points. Michaeljordan back on the floor. Jordan trying to sneak inside, but it will be Laker ball. The Bulls 42 and the Lakers 41. Livingston able to pick it off.
And the Lakers had stationed Worthy at the opposite end of the floor. The Bulls did not match up. Magic just looked up a little bit too late. The idea was right. Execution is a little sloppy that time.
Again, Jordan played by Scott. Devon's over to help. Pippen with 2 on the shot clock. Has to fire it. And it is a 24-second violation.
We've been giving the Bulls defense a lot of credit, but we must remind people the Lakers have played outstanding defensive basketball, particularly down the stretch of the regular season and throughout the playoffs.
Lakers and Bulls meeting for the first time in the NBA Finals. First time they've met in the playoffs since 1973. Livingston with the rejection. Here's Armstrong. Yes. B.J. Armstrong, in his second year out of Iowa, has done an excellent job coming off the bench this season. A 10-0 run by the Bulls. They now lead it by 3. It is their biggest lead of the game. Here's Magic, who's been quiet. Bulls looking for an offensive foul. They do not get the call.
Magic sees the crease in the defense, just puts his head down, basically says, I'm going to the basket. Bulls a little slow in closing down that lane to the rim.
Magic is 2 for 2 from the line. An illustrious career for Earvin Magic Johnson. He is the NBA's second all-time leader in steals behind Maurice Cheeks of the New York Knicks, and now the all-time assist leader, breaking Oscar Robertson's record that was back in April. Here's Jordan. And Michael will go to the free throw line.
I can't say for sure whether the Bulls are trying to play mind games with Byron Scott, but as soon as he comes back in and the matchup takes place, Scott versus Jordan, Chicago sent Michaeljordan down in the hole on a post-up to get him off right away versus Scott.
Jordan is 1 for 2 from the foul line. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first half. And the Bulls lead it by 1. Is back, and Will Perdue hears it from the crowd. And now a timeout taken. When we come back, it'll be Jordan back to the foul line. Well, the Lakers led by as many as 7, but a 10-0 run by Chicago has propelled the Bulls to their biggest lead, a margin of 3. Excellent job by the Bulls bench. And again, Cliff Levingston providing an emotional lift.
A guy who knows his role. Rebound, play good defense against the team's top scorers. Very willing to do that.
All right, let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, Cliff Levingston may be playing well right now, but last night he had a tough time sleeping. He said he was so nervous about this game, he couldn't eat. He tried to eat breakfast this morning, and Marv, he lost his breakfast, but he's been playing well. Back to you.
Ahmad has such a way with words, doesn't he? He lost his breakfast.
Very impressed.
You know, I never quite heard it captured in that manner. Michaeljordan on the line for his second free throw. 3:56 remaining in the first half. So the Bulls lead at 45-43, and again, the light pressure by Chicago. Magic met by the trap. Divac, Worthy, Perkins up front. Scott Johnson in the backcourt.
And because of the switch, all of a sudden, Michaeljordan is on Vlade Divac, playing him down low. The double team gets it out of his hand.
Magic delivering for Divac. Shot clock out of 1. And it's blocked by Pippen. It's a 24-second violation.
The trapping defense forced a mismatch. Jordan on Divac. Unfortunately, Vlade couldn't find the handle on the ball.
Now Pippen played by Worthy. Cartwright eluding Divac. Crowd looking for a foul.
With the long arms of Sam Perkins, bothered the shot, forced the miss.
Crowd wanted to travel, but Armstrong picked it off. It's a 2-on-1. Here's Jordan. Points for Michaeljordan. Bulls lead at 47-43.
They're just getting now into their half-court offense with 10 seconds left on the 24-second clock.
Shot clock to 2. So once again, the Lakers roll that shot clock all the way down. 6 points for Divac. And the Bulls lead at 47-45. Jordan with the fake right, went left, and then was bottled up. Good play by Scott.
3 Lakers surrounding Jordan once he put it on the floor.
As Byron had some help, but was able to deflect it away. Here's a mismatch. Perkins, and he drew the foul. Levingston coming over to help out Armstrong. So Sam Perkins, a college teammate of Michael Jordan, as was James Worthy, to the free throw line. Over the last 3 years, he has worked vigorously with weights. 6 years in Dallas, signed with the Lakers as an unrestricted free agent last August, and it has turned into a splendid move by Laker general manager Jerry West.
And as you follow Perkins in his career, he started out under Dick Mott, a little bit of post-up action. When John McLeod, Richie Adebayo took over, a little more post-up action. When Adebayo was named the head coach, stuck him down in the hole on a full-time basis. He says score from down low, and then Dunleavy has taken over now, and it gives him 5 people to post up on offense.
The crowd reacting to the play of Cliff Livingston. Horace Grant checking back in. The Lakers and the Bulls tied at 47. Game 1 of the NBA Championship Series. Game 2 here Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on NBC. Game 3 in LA next Friday night, starting at 9 Eastern Time. Cartwright to the fadeaway. Evans on the rebound. It has been a media onslaught here in Chicago. Credentials issued to 550 journalists representing 12 countries, including Italy, Greece, Spain, France, and Japan. 3-point attempt by Perkins. He hit 2 earlier. And this championship series is being seen in 70 countries. Armstrong wide open. A minute 20 left in the first half. Game tied at 47. And Magic had it broken up. Last touch by the Lakers. Now Magic Johnson appealing to the outside official, Hugh Hollins. Jack Madden made the call, and the call standing. Here's Pippen. Scottie Pippen going glass. He has 9. Bulls lead 49-47. Coming up at halftime, the final shootout with Bob and Pat going at each other on the Prudential halftime report. That is coming up momentarily. Shot clock at 5. Worthy from downtown. And the foul is called. Scott grabbed by Armstrong.
Mike Dunleavy reminding James Worthy, if there's enough time on that 24-second clock, use the dribble penetration to get in the seam and force another rotation by the Bulls defense. That time, James, because the shot clock had almost gone off, had to launch the long jumper.
Mike Dunleavy, 36 years old, a product of the schoolyards of Brooklyn. Excellent playmaking, scoring guard at South Carolina. He took over under pressure conditions from Pat Riley. Mike Dunleavy was in a no-win situation, but he still won. 6th-round draft pick of the Philadelphia 76ers. Eventually landed with Houston. 4-year stay there. Also played at San Antonio and Milwaukee. And an assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
After what Pat Riley had accomplished with the Lakers program, there are many coaches that would not want to step into those shoes or sit in that head coach position. Dunleavy looked at it a little bit differently. He said, hey, I think this team has a chance to win a championship. I'd like to be part of all that. Let me take a shot at it.
Game tied at 49. Here's Armstrong. Yes. E.J. Armstrong with his 2nd field goal. The indication, a 2-pointer. The Bulls were looking for a 3. That's the reason for the stoppage. 30 seconds left in the half. Teagle is checked back in, racing with Hodges. Teagle and Johnson. And Scott on the floor in a 3-guard alignment, along with Worthy and Perkins. And the foul is called.
That time, Magic did not give Jordan a chance to body up on him, did not give him a chance to double. As soon as he caught the basketball, he turned and went. Keep an eye at Scott and Jordan down low. The battle taking place, the bodies, the arms. It's a battle out here.
Jordan called for his 2nd. Magic Johnson has been very quiet offensively. He's 4 for 4 from the line. He has attempted only 1 field goal attempt. But as we have seen throughout the season, 22nd timeout called by the Bulls. It has not been important that Magic come up with big numbers. In fact, when he scores in prolific fashion, the Lakers usually have either lost or not played well. The assist category has been the significant one when it comes to Magic Johnson and W's for the Lakers.
Magic Johnson on the glass helps the Lakers. Magic Johnson directing the show out there, understanding that he had to take a little bit more of the scoring burden upon himself when Kareem retired, but he doesn't want to overdo it to the point where the spotlight's on him for scoring. He'd rather share that part of it with his teammates, just make him win in the end.
Magic in his 12th season out of Michigan State. Earlier this year, missed a couple of games with a jammed middle finger on his right hand. He was telling us how happy he is to be healthy after the long grind of the regular season and on to the final round of the playoffs. Lakers and Bulls tied at 51. We are down to 10 seconds to go in the half. Pippen try to hand off to Grant. There's Grant. Now Pippen, and he drew the foul with 2 7/10 seconds left in the first half. Foul called on Perkins. That is his first.
The initial defense by the Lakers was outstanding. They took away the drive off the dribble by Pippen. They cut off on the dump down pass for the layup by rotating from the weak side. It was just the extra hustle by the Bulls coming up with the second, third shot opportunities.
Scottie Pippen is 1 for 3 from the line. The Bulls only 5 out of 9 from the free throw line. Lakers at 17 of 18. Pippen only a 71% free throw shooter. Bulls take a 1-point lead, and a timeout taken by Mike Dunleavy. So when we come back, Pippen will go to the line to shoot a second. 2 7/10 seconds remaining in the half. Wednesday night, Magic and Michael resume as they move their dream matchup to prime time for Game 2 of the NBA Championship Series. The Lakers and the Bulls, Wednesday night, starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, right here.
This will force you to stay up a little bit later than normal, 9 p.m. starting time?
Yes. Take a nap during the day. I'll be fine. I think we need referee Arthur Mercanti to check this one out. Let's see, salary about the same. We're not talking about all the extracurricular activities. MVP awards, Magic with 3, Michael with 2, but the big number that Michael would like to put a dent into under the category of championships.
In fairness, the supporting cast has been a little bit different with the Lakers over the years than it has been here in Chicago. The Lakers have been there, have built it, and maintained it. The Bulls on their way to getting there.
And this is a strong first half for the Lakers on the home court of the Chicago Bulls. Here's Pippen from center court. Lakers shot only 44%, but they're down by only 2, while the Bulls 61% shooting in the first half. Jordan leading the way with 18 points along with the 5 rebounds and 8 assists. Halftime in Chicago, game 1 of the best of 7. The Bulls by 2. Bob and Pat coming up in just a moment.
And welcome back to Chicago Stadium, the second oldest arena in the NBA, built in 1929. Only Boston Garden has been around longer. What it gives away to the Forum in glamour, it makes up in atmosphere. These fans came in psyched to see Michael versus Magic, the Bulls versus the Lakers, and so it's obligatory that we check the totals. Michael, 18 points, most of them in the first quarter. 8 assists, 5 rebounds. He's had a hand in 34 of the 53 Chicago points. Magic, just 5 points, 6 assists, 3 boards. An early question, Worthy versus Pippen. Pippen didn't get off in the first quarter, but did come on in the second. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 for 9. Worthy, what a revelation for Mike Dunleavy. 14 points, couple of rebounds, 7 for 14. He looks okay.
Well, obviously, Bob, there was a lot of concern coming into this game about James's ankle. 7 out of 14, 14 points. He's putting the ball up a lot. But one thing we noticed in the first half, I don't think he's 100%. I do believe he's going to be able to play throughout the game. And I think at the end of the game, when there's fatigue, is when you're going to see it the most. Right here with Horace Grant, watch the pivoting. I think right there you can see whether or not the guy is ailing, but he makes the shot over the top. This has been a game that a lot of people talked about, the Pippen-Worthy matchup. Really, it's a lot of different players playing Worthy. Worthy right now on Michael Jordan, or Michael Jordan guarding him. A quick spin move baseline. Again, the shot drops, and Worthy has shown with the 14 points that he could have a real big game.